Hello and welcome to Menopause Diaries Unfiltered. I'm Jackie Grant, your host, with over a decade experience of working with peri to postmenopausal women, helping them to lose the next 15 to 20 pounds within 4 months without calorie counting, restrictive dieting, or spending all their time in the gym. I've delivered workshops in around menopause for adult learning, councils, NHS, and I also run my own CIC, which I deliver menopause and women's health cafes to bring women together to talk about menopause. Now, this is Menopause Diaries, where the podcast where we talk about real menopause, right? The weight, the mood, the sleepless nights, the good days, the bad days, everything, the wins, and all unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetically honest. And today's guest, we have got Karla Callan. Welcome, Karla.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to
I'm,
have you here, Karla. I know we were just talking quite a little bit before, but I just didn't want to miss all that juicy stuff that you were talking about because it's really, really interesting. So just talk me through your journey.
yes, um I I am currently about to turn 47 in July. So my journey started I've probably been going through this since I would say probably around like 42, but the symptoms were very mild.
Mm,
So I wasn't really paying attention to it.
mm,
Um, and so it wasn't until I got farther along, I would probably say around 45.
mm.
And one day I just like went to bed. I woke up and all hell had broke loose. And it started with super bad night sweats. I didn't have like hot flashes, although I worked with a woman who had hot flashes, and I would see her like she'd be stripping at work, like with fans, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But it didn't hit me with the hot flashes. It was the night sweats. And so I would go to sleep, perfectly fine and wake up in the
Mm,
middle of the night, soaking wet. Like from head to toe, my t-shirts would be so wet
yeah.
that, as you turn over in your sleep, you get that like air and all of a sudden you're freezing because
Yeah.
you're soaking wet. So I would have to get up, I'd have to change my shirt. My poor husband is like, he's like, what is happening? The
Mm.
one time I almost looked at him and wanted to take his head off is one day he looks at me and he's like, oh, look, you're dry, as if I was like a kid peeing on myself.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I know you did not just say that to me. Like, yay, you're dry. So, but yeah, and that kind of started my journey on like that my thought process was like, I'm not about to suffer through this. I need to figure out what to do. And I
Mm,
mean, that was the start. So I've had multiple different issues in the
mm,
last 2 years with weight gain, the hot and cold at night. Oh, my newest one that I've went through is body regulation. So I will, and this is like during the day, I can, let's say I go outside and I go like walk to the garbage and back, and all of a sudden my body's extremely hot.
yeah.
And it's like my body won't regulate. Or I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm freezing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. So now I have all these clothes on. And then
Yeah.
2 seconds later, my body either regulates to normal or I get up or, even to walk across the room and all of a sudden I'm hot. And
Yeah.
it's like your brain isn't regulating anymore. And there's just a lot of doctors that are just like, oh, well, that's just part of life, and
Mm,
this is not part of life. This is not functioning, okay?
yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to
Exactly.
suffer through this until one day it ends. And when I found out that, the stage of perimenopause can be 10 years,
Yeah.
I'm like, I cannot, I
Yeah.
cannot be miserable for 10 years. Not to mention the absolute worst is, I think, the mood swings.
Yeah.
Like, just waking up and you're like, why do I feel like I hate everyone and I want to rip everyone's head off, but
Yeah.
I'm not even angry.
Yeah.
But
I know
all of
it's weird. It's just a feeling, isn't it?
Yes. And it's like it doesn't matter what anyone does. You just are angry. Like it's just like everybody is irritating.
Yeah.
Everybody's annoying.
Yeah.
Everybody just irks you. And it's hard because I feel bad and I feel like guilty, like okay, I'm being mean to people because they're annoying me and they
Yeah.
didn't really do anything to annoy me. But on the other side, it's like I can't control this at this point. Like
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this. I'm not purposely trying to be mean. It's just
Yeah.
the hormones are atrocious. And so I literally just started, researching about menopause, researching different things that you could try and do, changing my eating habits,
Yeah.
reducing down, eating like sugars,
Yeah.
and making sure that you stay away. Like I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, so that was a benefit. But
Yeah.
also just like watching what I'm eating more protein in my diet,
Mm.
staying away from things like fast foods and
Yeah.
processed foods. All of those do play a huge role, um,
Mm.
especially when you are dealing with the menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, and you're dealing with the weight issues. Because while yes, a lot of it is hormonal, but also what you're eating festers and plays a role in there. And so I had to really, I used to be the person that, my whole life, I never had to watch my weight. I could eat
Yeah.
whatever I wanted,
Yeah.
never had a problem. Well, you can
Yeah.
say goodbye to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those days I had to come to like grips with my new reality. Like
Yeah.
those are long gone. And you can literally now it's like if I even bit, I don't like sweets as far as like candy and I mean not candy, like desserts like cake and stuff.
Yeah.
But every once in a while I noticed that I started to have really bad sugar cravings.
Yes.
And one of the things I will say is like if you even look at, a cake, you will gain 5 pounds instantly. Like you will wake up with 5 extra pounds. So, so I had to learn to like adjust my diet and just really my husband's been really good. Like he started doing his own research on menopause and then he started sending me videos of other husbands like and they
Oh,
were
really?
yeah, like funny videos of husbands that are like, if your wife's in menopause, don't do this and this. Right, just
So
leave her
funny.
alone. So he's been really good. Initially he kind of was annoying because he was like, well, why don't you just go to the doctor? Why don't
Mm.
you just do this? And I'm like, it's not that easy. Like, it's not a thing that you go to the doctor, you get a little pill or something, and then boom, you're done.
Yeah.
And I had to like explain to him, like, even the doctors, all they're going to do is give you a panel of tests. And
Mm.
what will happen is you're going to be within the normal ranges that they think are normal. And then
Mm.
they're going to tell you, oh, you're okay, when you know dang well you are not okay. But
Yeah.
they'll just tell you, oh, well, everything's within range, so
Yeah.
it's okay. Or
Yeah.
some of them will just tell you, like, oh, yeah, it's a part of life, ride it out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to go there. And so I started looking into different natural herbs
Yeah.
and I just started going down kind of the list and through 2 years I was kind of trying different herbs to see if they worked and what didn't work.
Yeah.
And wild yam was really good for me and it's interesting too when you I want to say like beware of like when you're reading stuff because a lot of times because of big pharma, they will dismiss a lot of herbs and things like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
They will, say, oh, well, allegedly it works. But I'm like, I don't buy into that. So I'm
Mm.
always like, well, I'll try it. And if it
Yeah.
works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it does work.
Mm.
So my warning to women out there that are going through the same, the good old menopause, make sure that you don't just like look at that and not try some of these
Yes.
other alternatives, because they are really good at saying, oh, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. But herbs, you know, have been around for hundreds of
Hundreds of
years.
years.
And prior to big pharma and their chemicals,
Yes.
people were doing herbs. And so, like black cohosh and different things. One of the ones that really helped me was I bought Jamaican dog blood.
Oh,
And
wow. I've never
yeah,
heard that
so
one.
look into it. So it is I bought the tea. I have a friend that's from Jamaica, and I bought the tea, and um this herb is used for it, actually does wonders for women who have like cysts, and also like fibroid tumors, but
Fibroids. I knew you were
also
going to say that.
you can use it to regulate your system.
Right.
So I was having one of the symptoms of perimenopause was I was starting to have really bad cramps, and
Mm.
I had never had menstrual cycles that were bad. And I mean, these were like, I've had three children natural, and these were bad.
Right.
And so when I started taking, you don't have to take it like every month or anything. I took it um in a cycle. So I started like right when I started my cycle, and I took it all the way through like an entire month. And then
Right.
I got off of it. And after that, I have not had any period cramps for probably like 4 or 5 cycles.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes. So I would definitely recommend people looking into that and seeing
Mm.
if that's a good option for you. But I also decided to start taking, I take bioidentical hormones.
Okay.
Um, they are in like MCT oil.
Okay.
They're not high doses. I take like a bioidentical esterol, which is like a really low dose of estrogen, and I
Yeah.
only use like 3 drops, so it's probably about 1.5 maybe milligrams that's getting absorbed into my skin. One of the things that I will say is like start start your journey on the low end, because then you can always increase. Don't
Yes.
start high, like don't start the recommended. Go with
Mm.
your body. One of the biggest things that I can give an advice is learn your body,
That's right.
because nobody's going to know your body
Yes.
like you do. And even though, yes, you can go tell a doctor, these are my symptoms and this is what's going on, they're not going to look at it in the same way, because they're thinking analytically and logically, okay, if I give this and this and this is what she needs. And they're not thinking about your body system and how your body reacts to things. And
Mm.
so the biggest thing I can say to people is learn your body,
Yeah,
like really start paying attention to your signs and symptoms.
definitely.
And that's what I really started to do. And then also for mood and things, do not just jump on, any antidepressants or
Yeah,
anything like that. There are herbs out there that
there are.
you can take, like there are so many of them that help. I am not a medical doctor, but I am a big advocate for natural.
Yeah,
Anything going the natural way. I am a firm believer that once you start adding in pharmaceuticals, you end up having to take more, because they mask a symptom, they don't
that's
treat
right.
it. And
That's
so usually once you get on one, it causes something else, and now
yes,
you have a new issue.
yeah,
So and don't get scared, because like there's things that happen as you're going through this cycle. Like I used to have really really low blood pressure, and
mm,
then as I started going through the cycle, it's not high or dangerous, but I did notice that my blood pressure is different now,
yeah,
and that's normal. So
yeah.
don't, try not to over Google
Yeah.
because then
Don't got Dr.
yeah,
Google.
because you will end up like freaking out and
Yeah,
thinking you're lying. So
exactly,
you're not.
exactly,
So try
exactly.
not to go,
Can I
get
just go back to something that you spoke about? You said you were on bioidentical estrol, and that was from MCT oil.
well, it's mixed with MCT oil. So the
Oh,
estrol that I take is plant based.
right.
Um, Oh, and then I also take a progesterone, a plant-based progesterone, and it's in MCT oil and vitamin E is what is the base. Um,
Okay. But where
yeah,
did
and
you get that from?
so there's a company, they actually also have their shop on Amazon.
Right.
But there's a couple different companies, like Progest is a good one. There's
Right.
one called, I want to say it's called, oh goodness, Forward Health. They're a company that does, they sell, they work with people with like thyroid issues to get you off the thyroid medication and
Right.
taking like raw desiccated thyroid, but they
Right.
also sell a plant-based progesterone oil as well. So there's
Okay.
multiple different ones out there. But
Interesting.
there's a couple that are on Amazon and they're not bad. They work really well. So
Mm,
don't let them lie to you that you have to have some expensive. You don't. You don't have to have like spend 100, $200.
mm,
And be careful because too they'll try to like. I was looking at different. Um, I guess they have now where you can kind of do the telehealth and they will ship you, like different bioidentical things. And the one thing that I wasn't really wanting to go on is like project or testosterone or anything. I
right.
did not feel that I was like, no, I don't think my testosterone is an issue.
Yeah.
Mine is the progesterone and just keeping my estrogen
Calming.
at a good
Calming.
balance. One of the things I will say for women is like be prepared for the most weird symptoms.
Mm,
So I'm going to tell you some of the crazy symptoms that I had.
okay.
Like, for instance, your eye waking up and missing patches of your eyebrows.
You woke up.
Your face, you're like, what? Yes. So apparently, when you are in, and leave it to me to get this, but apparently, when you are going through perimenopause or and menopause, your growth pattern, for your hair, like normally
Yeah,
your
I
weight
get that bit.
slows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
But you woke
basically,
up with a patch. This is what I don't get.
I'm talking about a whole section missing. It
What when
started
you
doing,
woke up, it was just
yeah, it was
it
just
was just
gone.
gone. Wow. I
Like
mean,
the whole
I know
section of,
that it affects your hair because it affects every single part of your
yes,
body.
my whole, like a whole section of my eyebrow would be missing. And then it would
Wow.
come back. And then, like, next thing I know, I'd go in the mirror to get dressed and I'd be missing like a whole patch of my eye. And I used to have really, they're not thick and bushy, but they're very wide.
Yeah.
And now I don't even have to wax because half of them are gone. I don't even need to pluck because they won't grow. They're like half of them are missing. So that was an interesting thing to happen. I was like,
Wow.
my daughter, it was funny. My daughter's like, Mom, you need to stop overdoing your eyebrows. And I looked at her, I'm like, I didn't do anything to them. They're falling down. What do you mean? And she's like, oh my gosh. My daughter's like 24. She's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, this is what you got to look forward to. No. So, so that was a whole thing. And then the thinning of your hair.
Yeah.
Um, and so that is a whole thing for women too, is that your hair starts thinning or
Yeah.
like you start having hair falling out.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize is that your scalp is like estrogen controls a lot of your scalp. And so what happens is that when your estrogen drops, your scalp is more likely to become irritated. So
Yeah.
then you start suffering from like an inflamed scalp, and then it gets to the follicles,
Yeah.
and that's where you get all the hair fall. And if your hormones get imbalanced, your body is producing a lot of times more of the androgen
Yeah.
hormones, which then like male pattern baldness starts
Yeah.
showing up.
Yeah.
So that's scary, especially for, as a woman and as a
Yes.
woman who like loves her hair.
Yes.
Um, I, made the choice to go to locks like 4 or 5 years ago, and I,
Okay.
have been growing my locks for that long. And so to all of a sudden, like, you know, a whole section, you know, like on the side, like a whole lock fell out. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm like, what in the heck is happening? And so I had to go down that, you know, path of like, okay, what am I supposed to do with my hair? So I started looking at, you know, the different treatments. And
Treatments.
what I found is just like making sure you have a good scalp treatment. So
Yes.
I use a lot of like black seed oil and
Yes.
Jamaican castor oil.
Yes.
And I now there's a company Loom, I think it's Lumen, and they make a root repair um vitamin, or
Yes.
it's like a capsule with herbs. So I just now started that, and I feel like it is starting to, like, I feel like the places that were thinning are starting to be thick.
Oh, that's
Um,
brilliant. What was that company? Because I'm using one at the moment. Uh um I don't want to go off and go and get it.
yeah,
I
so it's
forget what it's
called
called, but
Lumen. It's
it's
like Lumin is the company, and it's called Root Revive, I think is what the
okay. It might be the similar
company's
thing that
called.
I've just recently got. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been using that, and then I have like kind of a regimen with like hair oil, massaging your
Yeah,
scalp.
massaging for 5 minutes,
Also,
3 to 5 minutes. That's what I do.
yeah, also getting they make you can get these on Amazon. They make what's called DHT blockers, because um that's what's in your body that is basically causing your hair to thin and short and fall out.
Mm.
And so DHT, like, it's natural. So
Oh, yeah.
seed,
Mm.
pumpkin seed and emu, you know, the animal, the oil,
Yeah.
emu oil,
Mm.
they are natural DHT blockers. So you also want to do that. And then I also put myself on a hair, skin, and nail vitamin.
Yes, I've got one
So
of
that started, yeah, that
those.
also, don't forget, like, get yourself a good collagen.
Yeah,
And take collagen. Not to mention, vitamin D is key, and it needs to be over 10,000 IUs.
IUDs. Yeah.
Yes. So I also, I mean, I have a whole array. Like, if I showed people how many herbs and vitamins I take, it's ridiculous. But this is why I'm still functioning.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I've been taking like herbs and vitamins my whole life for years.
Yeah.
And I do notice a big difference, just because, like, now in the day and age we live in, most of the food, you're not getting what you need from it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's sad to say, but like, most of the food that we're eating, it's so bad that you're really not pulling all of the nutrients and things you need.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's you definitely are, you know, need to be supplementing,
Mhm.
um and look at, yeah, and just looking into what works for
For
you, because
you, exactly.
what might work for someone else, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Chase tree,
Yeah.
um that works for a lot of people. For me, it causes like intermittent spotting when I'm on it,
Right.
and so I don't take that.
Yeah.
um so I have alternates to that instead, because like maca root and things like that,
Yeah.
because I was I had tried chase tree at one time, and I was like, why is this, like, why am I bleeding in between my periods, like, and it
Yeah.
just would be like, it's not like a real period, but it's just like spotting at
Brilliant.
nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and looked, and it was like, oh, okay, this can cause intermittent bleeding. And so the minute that I got off of it, it went
Mm.
away.
Mm.
So yeah, that's, and also there was like one that I was taking, and I was actually taking it as a mood elevator, because it helps you produce more dopamine. But
Yeah.
then as I was reading, like, I was looking into it further, it raises your testosterone levels.
Right.
So I was like, oh, gotta get off that, because I'm like, that's probably triggering with my hair. So I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to take that. So it was really, it's sad to say, you kind of have to play guinea pig with yourself.
Trial and error.
Yes, and really it's about what works for you. Like, I can make
Exactly.
all the recommendations to the, in the world, and give you, ideas to start with. But really it takes consistency and it
Yes.
takes time. Like, this isn't an easy fix overnight.
No,
That's not how this works.
no.
You're going to have to be consistent and really just try, to find what works for you. And then once you do, just stick with that until, and I want to say that you will have to do adjustments because your hormones will still be all over the place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you still need to do like adjustments here and there.
Mm,
And there was one other thing that I was gonna say that now it slipped my mind. But yeah, so the adjustments are really important, and really just listening to your body. Like,
yeah, yeah,
um, I have people that are like, how come you're somewhat normal? And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, let me tell you, these are the things that I know about, and I'm like, but make sure that you try, that you can try all these herbs and things, but make sure that you do what's best for you, because some of these that work for me might not work. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Another thing for women to invest in, I don't know how to solve the problem if you are like vegan or a vegetarian,
Right,
but one thing that I invested in that made a world of difference is there are companies that use the organs, like animal organs, like from the one company that it used gets they have their own cows that they raise,
right,
and they're capsules. They're very small, and I take them, but they have ovaries, the uterus, and the fallopian tubes, along with all the other organs.
right.
What I found is that was a game changer
Oh,
because,
really?
yes. So I had a long time ago, I had done like a hormone panel, and my thyroid was like what they consider normal, but it
Yeah,
was on the high end. I
right,
started taking the organs, and it has thyroid, it's got, liver, the heart, it has all of those. I started taking that, and I kid you not, within a month, it had dropped like over 2 points down.
oh,
And
wow.
yeah, like it was amazing. And the one thing that I can say is like with they make one specifically for women that have the female organs, and it gives you estrogen and progesterone
Right. Okay.
naturally. So that is also something that women should look into.
And
Um,
what's the company called?
So there's a couple out there.
Mm,
Let me tell you, there's one that I started off with. Uh Give me 1 second because I'm gonna pull it up.
no worries.
Here, okay. There we go. So initially, oh no, it's like scrolling. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. So initially, I started with the company Primal Queen.
Okay.
And then that one is pretty expensive.
Right.
So then there is one that's better, and it has even more benefits, called Glowing Goddess, and it's cheaper.
Okay.
So I would recommend that one to get started with. It's
Mm,
about I believe it's about 25 to $29 like a month for the caps for 60 capsules. I believe it's like 30, it's a 30-day supply though. But
right.
I found the other one was more like $50 a month.
Right. Right.
But I will say it works. Um, and with anything, you have to give it time for your body
Exactly.
to like take it
Just.
on. And
Mm,
that would be my biggest recommendation is everything takes, you have to have patience.
yeah.
Everything takes time for your body to adjust to it and to actually go, oh, we need this. We can use this.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
don't get frustrated if the symptoms don't go away right away. Keep
Mm, mm,
working with what you're taking, for at least a couple months.
Yeah.
So that you can start to see if there's a benefit or not.
Exactly. You know, anything's going to take a period of time before you see anything. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, but you know, sometimes we're looking for quick fixes, but it's not about that. So thank you so much, Karla, for being a guest. You know what? You've had a world of knowledge on herbal remedies, and it's been amazing. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a couple years of my own, like, and
where can people find you, just in case they wanted to reach out to you?
oh, so I have social media. I am on all like a TikTok, Threads. I am on Instagram and Facebook. I actually am on there under Karla Callan Ministries, because that's what I have as a ministry. But you can definitely reach out to me no matter what through my social media and ask me any questions or recommendations for herbs.
Oh,
Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I've been doing this for quite a few years now, and there are things that are natural that are an alternative to, getting stuck with uh-oh, how did my
yeah, I was
video
just
get
going to
turned
tell
off?
you, but I was waiting for you to finish. Your camera's just gone off.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I think it switched again. One
Oh,
second.
right. Okay.
Oh, that was so weird. But yeah,
Okay.
so
So,
there are people can definitely reach out to me. It's Karla, Karla, Callan, Callan, and then just ministries.
yeah.
Um, and you can reach me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and also on Threads. And it doesn't matter that you're not reaching out about the ministry. You can reach me about menopause. It doesn't matter. I
Brilliant.
will. I will definitely get back to you. I'm pretty good at when if you send me a message, I'm pretty good at responding right away. So, but yeah, if anybody wants a list of some of the things that I'm on or what I've been doing, definitely reach out. One of the other things I can leave people with is don't. One of the things that I thought was that I had to like go to the gym and start like working out all excessively, which I hate working out. So I'm not even gonna lie, I can't stand it. What I
Oh,
started, what I started doing is just simply get up early in the morning before you eat breakfast or anything else and go on a nice walk. Even if it's 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, put on your headphones, listen to whatever songs or podcasts you like. Go on an early morning walk a couple times a week, and even that helps.
brilliant. Thank you for that. So thank you for being a guest today. And
Yes.
thanking everyone for watching and listening. If you've got any questions for me or my guests, ask them in the comments, like or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.